Go back to and just kind of reshuffle this whole thing and start from scratch, because I just don't know I don't know a better path right now for this team. In terms of Russ, though, the narrative has shifted a little bit, and it seems like he's having fun, and he's joking with Dave McMenamin of ESPN about his role and playing well. Like what did he do? He did the 15-5-5 off the bench thing, and that's been good for him. But it seems like he's happy, and it seems like the vibes there have changed. Jovan, what has actually changed on the floor as someone who has watched Russ play for an extended stretch now off the bench? Is he doing anything different, or is it just the expectations have shifted because he's off the bench? Like, what is actually real in terms of Russell Westbrook's play over the last month or so?
Yeah, I mean, I think you put it well. I think he's playing with more joy. I think he's found his joy playing basketball in a way that really was gone last season. I would say his positive interactions with the media are still few and far between. So I want to clarify that has not changed. But I think, and I've been saying this, and it's funny because I get labeled a Russ hater, or Russ, the Russ army comes after me on Twitter. But I've been saying, like, Russ is still a good player. Now, I think like that contract is has not aged well. And I think with his style of play, which hasn't really changed much this season, there's just a limitation to how good you can be if he's your second or even third best player, just with the way that, just his limitations in terms of his turnovers and his shooting. And so I think for him, the biggest thing has been bringing him off the bench and staggering him and LeBron more, and just playing those two guys less together. You've seen, like, Russ is at his best with the ball in his hands. Like, we've just seen that throughout his career, and the Lakers have created, you got to give Darvin Ham credit. Like, he's created opportunities for Westbrook that he didn't always have last season. And it's there's been dedicated Westbrook and Westbrook AD lineups that there were last season, to some extent, but there was more kind of naturally LeBron and Westbrook lineups just because of them starting and often closing games together. So you've seen Darvin isn't afraid to bench him in crunch time. And I think that's done what, that's helped the Lakers. It's also held Russ accountable, where I think you've seen him at times play more efficient in crunch time because of kind of knowing the stakes of, like, if I'm playing careless, I'm going to get pulled out. But you've also, I think, just seen him grow with AD, in the pick and roll. And Darvin really, I think, put certain lineups around him. Thomas Bryant, he has really good chemistry with. Austin Reeves, Troy Brown. Like, he's kind of created this bench unit that has played really well together. And really guys who like to get out in transition, guys who are athletic, and guys who just kind of fit with what Russ needs. Now, I think, is he worth $47 million? No. Do you like him in crunch time? No. I mean, you've seen in recent weeks, teams just put their center on him and park that guy in the lane. And Boston did it beautifully down the stretch of that game that they had last week, where Luke Cornett, of all people, was defending Russ, and it was just like he was just messing everything up for the Lakers. It's like LeBron and AD run a pick and roll. There's Luke Cornett as the third defender in the action, and like you're swinging the ball to Russ, and he's either afraid to shoot because he's missed so many, or he's taking the shot and he's missing it, and it's just like, and he'll occasionally hit one, and but I think he's still obviously not a good shooter, and I just think there's a limitation there to that fit with him, LeBron, and AD. It's never going to be a clean fit. But I think the Lakers have really maximized him. He's bought into the role. He deserves credit, too, for accepting a bench role and accepting Darvin benching him at times. But I think it's more of a temporary thing where, I've seen, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Lakers do, re-sign him on, keep him and re-sign him. I'm highly skeptical of that. But I think if they end up keeping him, which I think they are as of now, it's more to do so with just, it's going to take 2 picks to get off his contract, and they don't want to give up those 2 picks, especially when the return is likely going to be low. So, people can say it's because he's playing well, or all of a sudden it's a better fit, and like those two things are kind of true, but I think it's just more to do with like still no one wants to take on that contract, and that could change by the trade deadline. We still got a month and a half left, but until that changes, I think that the price of 2 first-round picks is just too steep for the Lakers.
Interesting. Should contenders, like, to kind of pivot off the Lakers, Jovan, because I just feel like you just spend so much time in Lakerland. Like, there's just so much time Jovan Buha spends dealing with the Los Angeles Lakers and the Russ stands that, like, he needs a break every now and then. And it could be worse. You could be in the cold covering a dysfunctional team that is playing my Hawks in a little bit, the Chicago Bulls, where it's just, you look at the roster and you look at the group, and I mean, Alex Caruso, I wish there was a way to just send him back to Los Angeles. That was like, there's sometimes where there's just partnerships that end where you're like, can we just get a do-over? Like, obviously this is not in the best interest of both parties. They made a mistake. Let's just, you get a whoopsie. And they just go back. Like, Caruso never should have left the Lakers, and the Bulls should never have brought in Caruso. But